Well, hey, my name is Andrew, and we're here at the Northeast campus of Mercy Hill Church, and I got my good friend Wallace and our campus pastor Kyle here, and we just want to tell a quick story about God's faithfulness to breathe life into a church that was experiencing some struggle, had seen a real incline, and then had seen a decline. Years ago, the pastor of Northeast Baptist Church came to us, Mercy Hill, just looking for some help, looking for coaching. It's something we love to do. We feel like it sharpens us as much as it sharpens anybody else. And those talks turned into starting to talk about maybe doing some type of merger. Their church was in a lot of decline at that time. But honestly, the timing just wasn't right. It wasn't right for them. And that's completely in their court as an autonomous church. And we just said, hey, man, we're open to that conversation if you guys want to bring it back around. And a few years later, it did become time for them. And in conjunction with our local association and our associational missionary, Michael Barrett, they kind of brought us back to the table and re-engaged us on a conversation of what it might look like if the Northeast Baptist Church became a campus of Mercy Hill Church in the northeast part of Guilford County. And we were able to walk with them through an extensive process, and man, they were just so generous. They had a heart that wanted to sow into what God was doing next, not just think about what he had done in the past. And so that's how we sort of got here. And Kyle led that journey and led sort of that transition of this becoming a campus. So why don't you talk a little bit about what God has done?
Yeah, so we have, we've seen God do incredible things. When we launched the campus, we launched with about 75 people, kids included. And that was just really a solid group of people who jumped in, really gave of themselves in so many different ways with their time, serving here consistently, trying to lead teams and lead groups. They just gave of themselves over and over again, and it really was kind of laying the foundation for what God was going to continue to do here. And over the years, we have really seen a lot of growth in all areas, man. We've seen our campus grow. We started with 2 services. We now have 3 services. Those services, are filling up, and we have just kids ministries booming. We've probably doubled our kids ministry over the last 3 years, just seeing God bring tons of kids through the door, and it's been awesome to see that happen. And also, we launched with about 6 community groups. We have about 12 to 13 now. And so it's been awesome to see, as people have been pouring in, and God has been working and moving and really been growing this campus. We've seen people jump in that are wanting to start the transition process to go overseas or think about going overseas and what that would look like. And people going on to college campuses in the area, sharing the gospel and just having a hunger and a desire to see God work and move outside of these 4 walls. So it's been awesome.
It's just been an exciting time to see our church grow and how excited we are to be a part of that. I've enjoyed seeing the young men and women that are so enthusiastic. They're just so helpful, and just a tremendous opportunity that we have to merge with Mercy Hill and be a part of them. And we look forward to their continued growth. We have seen teams from our church go out in the mission field and serve, and we're proud of that and happy that it's excited to just be a part of that. Our church was in a declining situation, but when we talked with Andrew and Kyle about the right time to merger, and we agreed that it was right time for us to come, and we just glad to be a part of that and excited about the future and what it holds for us. And I know God is going to continue to bless us and bless Mercy Hill as we move forward. The church had just reached a point where it was declining, and we wanted to see it continue to grow. We didn't want to be a part of something that was not growing. And we know that God has plans for us to continue to grow.
That's right. Well, the legacy that you guys have left is just unbelievable, not just for Northeast Baptist, but also for other churches that are in the same situation. I remember you telling us that you guys built this original building with your own hands. and saw a great ministry here for a long time. But then, like every church that has ever been since Jesus walked the earth, there is a rise and then there is a decline. That will happen in our church at some point. It is not about the local church in terms of its everlasting nature. It's about God's church globally. And so we just really have benefited greatly. I think the kingdom has benefited greatly from you guys' generosity and your legacy. They wanted to sow a seed into something that was coming next. And man, we just need to see many churches in our community that are facing decline continue to have that type of spirit and that type of attitude. And when we do, man, the future is as bright as the promises of God.
What excites me most, I think, is just to see the enthusiasm and the excitement of people, especially the young adults, and how involved and excited they are. And one of the things that we don't like people sitting on the pew and not doing anything. We want people to be involved, and that excites me, to be involved with them. Kyle has done a tremendous job in being our campus pastor here, and we're excited about what the future holds for us.
I remember one of my favorite stories about launching Northeast was you guys had shared with us in the process that it had been a few years since y'all had had a baptism here.
Exactly.
And the very first weekend we were here, one of the little kids that got baptized was a child of one of the original college students that had moved in 2012 to plant Mercy Hill Church. So he had moved his life, with us to plant the church, and then all these 10 years later or whatever it was, he saw his child baptized right here at the Northeast campus on the very first day it was open. So that was a cool story.
Yeah, what excites me most is, man, just seeing kind of like what Wallace was saying, you come into a community with a lot of incredible, vibrant church history, and just to see people jump in, give of themselves, and pour out the way they serve, the way they lead here, and the way they're willing to just jump in and do what needs to be done. And we have seen that so many times. People just getting a hunger and a desire to see the gospel go forth, not only here in the eastern part of Guilford County, but also to the ends of the world. And man, it's been great even this year to see several people from the campus here jump on to our go teams to go short-term trips. And man, we're just praying to see God continue to put fuel on that fire and send out people long-term eventually down the road. And so those are things that really excite me.